What's good, YouTube? And welcome to potentially the worst buyout of 2024. The year's not over yet. Heavy slump super rares are going, and that's to counter Fulos. Let that sink in, because this is a trap card that you would need to end up setting turn 1, having it survive your entire opponent's combo, and then you combo off on turn 3 with again, a resource taken up by this card under their Fulos that was main decked, I suppose. Yeah, it doesn't make too much sense to me. Maybe Labyrinth finds a way to activate it early, but Labyrinth often doesn't even play into Nibiru, so you'd have to really try to stretch that situation out too. This card reads, if your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, they shuffle their entire hand into the deck, then draw 2 cards. I feel like people are just pogging of dreaming of getting to activate this situation. It seems a lot less likely to me personally. It could pop up in some grind states, but again, taking away a card realistically from what you're doing, I just don't think is it. But let me know if I'm wrong. Now, a lot of duelists thought Yu-Gi-Oh! Was in a heavy slump recently, and those Yu-Gi-Oh! Doomers have really shut up as we've gotten into max attendance jumps coming up again. YCSs. I said jumps because of an ad we're going to see here in a bit. But New York Comic-Con's been popping off. Now, do not buy some of the Comic-Con stuff from eBay and other places. Here is why. Toy Temple has it directly with code WELCOME10. That is not sponsored. I know, rare to hear a code that's not sponsored, but that's me as a customer. They have the Jumbo Blue Eyes plush online, a bit expensive for some people's taste. I was really grimacing as I did check out. And then they also have Scapegoat plushes at a much nicer price, $40. They're not quite as nice as the OCG ones. When are they? But seriously, the cool bag here is reminiscence of how Japanese style toys are bagged up, especially vinyls. And then you also have pins for Scapegoat, pins for Rescue Rabbit and Cat, and they have the Rescue plushes, the lower end one, on site as well. So again, that is Toy Temple's New York Comic-Con stuff. Funko has Mystical Elf over here up as well online and still in stock. And then the huge announcement of the day is Mondo is partnering with Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, Mondo is a higher end division of Funko. Now, it used to be its own thing, and recently, and I think the last year-ish, got bought, but have continued on a trend of really successful toys. Like this Aztec Godzilla sold out on the Godzilla store in just hours, and is already selling for like double on the line. And then the Space Godzilla line also selling for double is something that I got for myself as well. This is a company I would trust to do dual runners and other cool things, but I think they'll probably start out with DM era, see how it goes. But since Funko has already started to go deep into Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, I'm heavily looking forward to what we get into in terms of high-end posters and that. Now, it could be these lower-end looking toys that have a high price. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that they look at Monster Arts, they look at what's around for Yu-Gi-Oh! And go with that. But these licensing deals are a huge thing for Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of people are underplaying. Oh, licensing is not where the money is. It's where the representation in daily life is. It's where people can get really cool things that weren't there before in original art or stylizations, and it is still money in Yu-Gi-Oh's pocket. Heck, recently, Bear Walker, who also has their blind boards back on, the last 750 out of 11,000 that have pretty much sold out, have their last 750 here and 250 at Comic-Con. And I'm wearing the shirt from that, which also had original art, which is neat. They have X-Rage, which in Japan recently had their shirts like sell out in 5 minutes for these two. It was crazy to watch. By the way, perfect fit on the jacket. I sized up one, as I often do with clothing from over there. And the embroidery on the Zeus shirt is insane. I also got the Rare Hunter get-up, had to. But look at all these different brands that are working with Yu-Gi-Oh! In a higher fashion, in a higher range recently. It matters because that means it's continuing to make money for the most part. A couple of figures going on sale that you might expect not to do as well. Sorry, Zexel, it just doesn't sell as well as the original 3, but we do see a lot of them. This is the 3rd paint rewave on this Dark Magician. Hypeland's on its 4th collab with Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a reason for all of this. It's selling. Now, get to the cards, John, I get excited and I get to cover merch where it does matter to the overall Yu-Gi-Oh market and health. Give me my moment. But we did see Quarter Century Bonanza announce some cards, and these are nostalgia pulls, we would assume, because they're 25th and platinum only. And Trooper, that means, is going to dodge having its collector rare reprinted, yet Stratos is just doing a haymaker up into the Starlight with a 25th here. So the Starlight was doing very slightly better than the Ultimate Rare. The Ultimate Rare was actually starting to go up as is. Even a sale very recently here at 120, 130, 120. Someone spent way too much, and you can see it's been up and down, but overall healthy. I think a lot of people will still settle for the Quarter Century Secret Rare over the Ultimate, but I think this will also put the debate over to where the Ultimate Rare is highest rarity, and the Starlight Rare, which has a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth thanks to the Quarter Century, will end up really dragged down as many Starlight Rares have been. But we'll have to see. Hero players are a special breed of collector. That's just my personal prediction. It could go anyway. That's speculation. Past formats continue to surge. Karma Cut, the rare even going here at this point with every single version way up in price. I think the Ultimate Rares are like almost 60 for unlimited near mints, and first editions towards 90. Yeah, exactly there. And the first editions not too readily available, around the $90 mark. Secret Rare Trap Stun has gone absolutely insane. Lowest $40 with sales up towards $27 and many near that $20 mark. Y'all are brave going for all these past format hits right when Bonanza's gonna do 200 cards. Then we see Gladiator Beast Rediari going with the new GB support announced alongside it being an Edison deck. So there's the double whammy for people seeing dollar signs around Edison. This card, the Turbo Pack Rare, is lowest $40. Let's see where the sales are actually at. I haven't clicked this. 48? That, oh my goodness. 25 is the realistic sell out point. We'll see what people do end up spending after the buyout, but that's ridiculous. I hope there's a reprint with the new Gladiator Beast stuff coming around. Darius Secret Rare, which is its highest rarity, got bought out to the point of $20. Recently, this was going for around $7 to $8. I actually had checked in on that one, as well as a Quest doing a similar number, around $17 here, where sales had also been around $7. But you can see some were peaking higher before, as this had got rotating buyouts. Speaking of, Ultimate Slayer has some of the most overhyped history in Yu-Gi-Oh, but it is seeing some active play here, and the Starlight Rare has rebounded after falling out again. So we can see that this card actually was getting some attention. Rarity 2 brought it down to its knees, and the Starlight Rare is getting some fresh listings at 50. There were none earlier when I asked the market room, but there are sales all the way up to 60, and people coming in trying to make sales at this lower price point, but people bought it out to 100 earlier. There's also the Quarter Century Secret Rare, which has been doing pretty well for itself overall, sitting around $15 to $18. We have no reprint for Heavenly Gate of Mikanko or Firewall Defensor. That's the only reason these two are really going up besides speculation around those decks. This is now around $5 for the Mikanko, and for Firewall Defensor, people were asking about, is it good in Mouse? Would you play it? And a lot of people are saying it's not really your best normal summon or what you want to end up going for, but it is good in Cyverse generically. This is around $3 right now. We see the Goblin stuff got a new support card, and people really took to that as Goblin Biker Grand Interest really spiked. Interest, not interest. The interest spiked in it, though. Sometimes it's hard live editing done cheap over here on Market Watch. But yeah, look at that spike in the graph. $8 on this Secret Rare. People love that deck. Checking back in just for the last time for week 1 of Rage of the Abyss, Mulcharmy continues to fall just a little bit, not a lot, a couple more dollars as it heads towards 130. Tons of conversations on you don't need this card versus it's such a power card. You can play around it. What skill level do I have to be at for that? Maxi Challenge does take a lot of skill sometimes, or then you 6 Samurai loop and give give them all their cards, and you hope not to get hand trapped at the right place. Yeah, the Rage of the Abyss booster boxes, though, they've been sitting down now just under 76, but after tax, that's probably still an $80 box about for most people. But it is notable it's continued to come down despite a lot of the cards being so pricey, and some of them coming up. I was right about Ultimate Dragon of Pride and Soul. Pre-sales were a bit too expensive. It's done nothing but come down. These cards often get targeted around this point, so if you do want yours, you might want to get it sooner than later. But then we've seen almost every single quarter century secret rare locked card that got a buyout fall back down to where it once was. So that's really your call. It's all speculation at that point. But this card is interesting, but I wouldn't be buying it personally, but it will probably get its buyout somewhere. You can see versus other quarter century secret rares too, it has like half the amount, so it could already be getting like softly gone after, or people just adding to their collection, because believe it or not, quarter century secret rares are very popular. They have the high end, the low end, and people like collecting them, despite the bad taste from Starlights and a lot of collectors leaving because of them. Everybody collects for different reasons. You gotta realize that. The Deception of Sinful Spoils looks like it's down just a couple more bucks. Actually, a full 5 if you're going by the lowest listing, but quickly up towards 47 on the front page. Week 1, still extremely strong. Deception of Sinful and Dominus Impulse basically flipping places. I did not expect that personally, and I'm always down to own when I'm wrong on here. And then Foolos staying above 130 is still pretty impressive, and with us being in the winter market, it'll be interesting to see how that does through WCQ season. Fiendsmith Engraver, to note, is down towards 60 and under, with some people just bailing on this card. It's still being played, but it's not the deck anymore, and that gives a lot of people an opening to go, do I want to be playing that? It's a deck, and that's what happens to options at times. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the discussions, even if they're in-depth on the merch. Like, I love stuff like this personally. I collect signage, banners. I'm hoping for high-end posters, and I already get some of their collectibles, and that's what I always want to bring to my videos, what I genuinely enjoy and collect, because there is still a market around it, and overall with Mondo, it tends to be a positive one with those limited releases, unlike that Steel Dark Magician Girl that's still up for sale that doesn't say limited anywhere. Limited releases that tend to sell out, so we'll see how Yu-Gi-Oh does with them versus the crazy Godzilla crowd.